Today we celebrate the feast of two great religious figures. One is St. Peter Claver, a Jesuit, and the other is Blessed Jacques Laval or James Laval from my own spirit and community. Both of these men dedicated themselves to the African slaves. Peter Claver in Cartagena, and he is responsible for the baptism of over 300,000 and for the care of the slaves who were brought to the Americas, and he dedicated his life to relieving their suffering and to also their religious instruction. And the witness of St. Peter Claver is, it is just so important in our church. First, to the scourge of what slavery has meant to so many people, the tragedy of this horrible, incarceration of people who, for no other reason than they thought that they were less than human, that they could be used as slaves. St. Peter Claver was one who dedicated his life to the relief of the suffering. But, he also recognized the need for their religious instruction. Jacques Laval, or James Laval, was a Puritan missionary who went to the island of Mauritius to minister among the people there. Today, Mauritius, which is off the African coast, is a largely Muslim population. But today is a feast, or it is a national holiday recognized by the Muslims also. Jacques Laval, when he was ministering to the people, he was a medical doctor. He became a missionary priest in our community, and when he was sent there, he dedicated himself to the alleviation of the suffering of the people. And he even lived in like a shipping container, where he dedicated his life to relieving the misery of people who were enslaved, who were, thought of as being less than human. So on this day, even the Muslims will make a pilgrimage to the place where Laval is buried. What is it about people like Peter Claver and James Laval, Jacques Laval, that we celebrate and see the importance? The first reading from St. Paul to the Corinthians, he says, I will be a slave, if that is what I have to be to bring people to Christ. There are some remarkable individuals, and I think that the church holds them up as an example, not to look at the world through the eyes perhaps of the dominant people or a dominant way of thinking, but to look at this world through the eyes of Christ. How do we look at other people, particularly those who might be different than ourselves? Do we look at them or overlook them? The great saints in our tradition see and love in others, even in those who are different, those who have different customs. They still see that they are their brothers and sisters in Christ. The saints of our day, Mother Teresa, all of these give us an insight into the radical equality that each and every one of us have, because we are made and fashioned in the image and likeness of God. Through our participation in this Mass, may that be deepened in each and every one of us, and also our willingness to serve.